Hey guys, this is our first video for this class, so I hope you guys like it, and what I would suggest is to take out a sheet of paper and a calculator and not only watch the video, but do the problem that I'm doing along with me and see if you can get the same answer. So this video specifically is about correlation and how to do it by hand, how to calculate it by hand. So by the end of this video, you should be able to calculate correlation using your calculator and by showing your work. We'll also review some correlation facts. All right, so here's the problem. A history teacher asked her students how many hours of sleep they had that night before the test. The data below shows the number of hours the students slept and their test scores. So I already put my data in my calculator to save a little time, so go ahead and do that. And let's make sure we know how to use our calculator for correlation. So to do the correlation by your calculator, you're going to push stat, calc, and then number 8. If you have a calculator like me, you could either push enter or write list 1, list 2. If you have a newer calculator, it'll ask you what list, and then you just write list 1 and list 2. So when we do it by calculator, we should get 0.974. So when we do it by hand, now we can compare our answer that we got by showing our work to 0.974. All right, so now let's show our work. So in order to show our work for correlation, we need the following numbers: x bar, s of x, y bar, and s of y. So we need those numbers. So to get these numbers, we're going to go to stat, calc, and this time we're going to go to number 2 variable statistics, and that's going to calculate all the statistics that we're looking for. And when you do that, you'll get all the numbers that you need, like x bar, s of x, y bar, and s of y. So go through and write all the numbers that you need down, and let's get started. Okay, so here's the formula. There's not supposed to be a line here. So here's the formula for correlation. So this represents how many pairs there were. So each pair represents one person. So essentially this is saying how many people were there. So there were 1, 2, 3. So we're going to start off by doing 1 over 3 minus 1. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take your first x and you're going to subtract it from the mean. So our first x was 4 minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. Now we're going to do the same thing for the first y. So we're going to do, the first y was 60 minus 69.67 divided by the standard deviation of y, which is 14.22. And where does this come in? Well, this comes in right now. Sigma means sum, which means plus. So now we're going to take what we just did and add it to the second term. So I'm going nice and slow for the video so you can see where I'm doing, where I'm getting these numbers. So the second x was 5 minus 5.33 over the standard deviation, which was 1.52, times the second y, which is 63 minus 69.67 over the standard deviation, which is 14.22. Okay, and then we're going to do the sum again. And then we're going to take the sum of the third term. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And the third term is 7 minus 5.33 over 1.52 times the third y term, which is 86 minus 69.67 over 14.22. Okay, so now you've done this equation for every single x and y. So every single x and y is represented here. So now you just have to do some arithmetic. So 1 over 3 minus 1 is 1/2. And I'm going to just go pretty quick, so I'm going to plug these into my calculator. So this first term becomes negative 0.869. The second term becomes negative 68. This term becomes negative 0.216. This term becomes negative 0.47. This term becomes 1.092. And this one becomes 1.15. Now let's multiply them. Obviously I'm going really fast, so you should be pausing the video and doing this on your own. And then see if you can get the same thing I'm getting. So then I'm going to add them. So when I add them, it's 1.9458. 1/2 of that is 0.972. And you'll remember when we did it on the calculator, we got 0.974. So look, I can check my work before I turn in my test and see that I did do it accurately. It's a little off due to rounding, but it's pretty close. And I just want to remind you that with the 0.97 correlation, I think that's pretty strong. Okay? And I also know that I did it correctly because correlation has to be between -1 and 1. And so I got 0.97, which lies really close to this number. So I know I did it right. Also, correlation measures strength. So it doesn't have any units. So notice that it's not 0.972 hours or 0.972 points. It's just 0.972. Let's see, and it's also not resistant to outliers, which means that if I had somebody slept 48 hours because they wanted to increase their test score, that would obviously be an outlier, and that would really mess up our correlation. Okay, so hopefully that helps you guys with doing the calculations necessary for correlation. Good luck with this part of the test, and come see me if you need any extra help. Thanks, guys. Bye.